between South America and the rest of Jamaica,
Okay.
Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Came here at a young age. During childhood, me and my brother, we taken a liking to catching some of the critters around the yard, you know?
Yeah.
Little lizards, earthworms, centipedes, all that little cool stuff.
Yep.
As we got older, we, went to the canal with some friends. We started fishing one day, 2 days, and then it turned into like, a nice connection we had out there, going out there.
Yeah.
So that's how I got involved out there in nature.
It's pretty awesome, man. I've been following you from a distance for a while. I know this stuff doesn't happen overnight, but it seems like it's become, something obviously that has really taken off for you. Talk a little bit about what it's like to be doing something just out of something you're passionate about, something you like doing, and then now all of a sudden it kind of taking off on the internet and you having all sorts of people following you. How many? You have a lot of people subscribed on YouTube. What's it been like? I mean, that seems pretty awesome.
So after me and my brother spent a lot of time fishing out there, we started noticing some iguanas. And, we saw them and we were a little intimidated by them. We had some family members come and we took them fishing, and then we saw some iguanas at our, right in our backyard. And we jumped on the boat. About an hour later, we had like 3 or 4 hefty ones in the boat. So
I'm not surprised.
So we did that because this place was crazy.
Yeah.
Like they were messing up our fishing. And ever since then, I just really enjoyed catching them, learning about them, interacting with them, seeing like, them. And also it was kind of shocking seeing some of the damage they've done too, Like,
Perfect. Yep, perfect segue, because that was kind of where I was going next. For people who don't live in South Florida or aren't from a climate where these iguanas are even a factor, talk a little bit about why these are considered invasive species down here. Mm-hmm. Talk about a little bit about what kind of problems they're posing.
Well, number one, iguana can lay like up to 60 eggs.
Ugh.
Which shockingly we found out in some of our past videos.
Ugh.
And not only that, but to lay those eggs, they have to dig holes.
Right.
And, unfortunately, where they're trying to dig at is usually right on properties or bridges or seawalls,
Yeah. So is that kind of what so from my understanding, your business is basically you get hired from property managers or apartment complexes, condominiums, stuff like that, to take care of, to help manage the iguana problems that they're having. And am I right in saying that? Is that kind of where the business started?
Yeah. So funny enough, I was out in the field, catching them, doing my thing, just for fun, ran into actually a president of a homeowners association.
Okay.
And apparently he saw me from afar. He was admiring what I was doing. I guess he's seen the passion, or he's seen something in me.
Yeah.
And this usually doesn't happen, but it was one of those scenarios where he offered me a job right on the spot.
Oh, wow.
To about 80 to 100 houses.
Wow.
And he was really adamant about me coming there because they had a pretty severe problem out there. Went there the next day, took me a ride on the golf cart.
Yeah.
Showed me all the iguanas, showed me all the spots. He showed me what the job details would be, like what I'd be guarding,
Yeah.
the territory. And then we signed the contract, and since then I've been in business. I went professional.
That's pretty awesome. Do you remember how many iguanas you caught that first day doing that? Was it a lot?
Yeah, for sure. The first couple times that we went out there, obviously, there's a reason why he wanted us out there badly.
Right.
And we got, I believe, like 20 to 30. Conservatively, the first couple hours we were out there.
That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, I love watching the videos. I especially like it when you get them from up in the tree. And then is it your dog? There's a dog in some of your videos who goes and fetches them, even if they're in the water. He gets them. Is that your dog?
Yeah. Well, no, those aren't my dogs per se. But they're dogs that have definitely helped, the team in certain situations and jobs.
It's pretty awesome.
And
they dive right into the water and everything. They go grab them.
Yeah, and that's kudos and respect to the owners that train them, the trainers. They put a lot of especially Lauren with Rambo. She has that dog trained, just very respectfully. Like very good. The other dogs though, and some of the other dogs, because we have a lot of people that we work with.
Yeah.
And we do removal in their community. We have permission from associations and proper authorities to do so, and they allow, you know, us to have the dog on there if need be, because they know that they want to try to get as many as possible, you know.
Gotcha. And so somebody told me, I don't know if this is true, you're the perfect person to ask. You know how they have like the bounty for pythons in the Everglades, and they, you know, they literally have bounties that people can go and hunt them, and they get paid for it in the state of Florida. Is it the same thing going on with iguanas? Has it become that big of an issue, or was I given bad information on that?
I can't really speak too much on that program. I just know that I do have my own business, and
Right.
basically all my business is usually private pest control.
Okay.
And it's usually people reaching out to me. I'm not really going out there too much out of my way. Lately, I've been, pretty occupied with some new jobs that
You've
we're
been
taking
busy.
on top of what we're doing now.
Yeah.
But the good news is, though, where we are working at, it's definitely, there's less and less iguanas, and
Yeah.
residents are happy. So
Yeah, no, you're definitely keeping people happy. I mean, when I see you fill the truck up with, what looks like 100 iguanas in a day, I'm like, man, what's the most iguanas you've caught in a day?
like, I can think of two times where we caught a lot. One time in Puerto Rico, me and the guys, the FX team, shout out to John, shout out to all those guys on the FX Puerto Rico Iguana Hunters team.
Okay.
We went out with those guys, and we went to a ranch that was loaded, and we had about, 4 or 5, people with rifles,
Yeah.
to do the removal, pest
Yeah.
control. And yeah, they had to pull in like 160 of them that day
Ooh.
in about 4 hours.
I mean,
It was, bro,
that's
it was
so
nonstop.
crazy. That's so crazy. I mean, listen, to me, they gross me out. My first apartment down here in Fort Lauderdale, they weren't really bothering me on my property or our property, but like across the street, there was just like a field, and they were definitely
Yeah.
taking over that area. And they just, they gross me out. I'm not a big reptile guy in general. I did see, are you moving towards other projects? Did I see something about pythons recently with you? Are you also getting into that game a little bit as well, or talk a little bit about that?
Basically, I deal with a lot of wildlife out here.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm known for catching iguanas, but
Right.
all the other invasive species or native species or pest control issues like pest animals, I get calls about.
Gotcha.
But I'm pretty familiar with the problem in the Everglades, and it's pretty crazy what's going on out there, And I want to give a special thanks to all the python hunters that do go out there and try to remove some of those snakes.
For sure.
Because every snake that they remove, it's going to save hundreds and hundreds of native mammals in that area, and birds, which I just learned about.
I'm glad that you said you're
Yeah.
familiar with this with that situation, because I'm fascinated by it. I know basically, depending on what you're reading, the stats can be a little different, but the gist of it is that there's such an overpopulation of pythons in the Everglades that they have now taken over the area, and there's really no mammals left in the Everglades. I think it was like over 90% of the wildlife that used to be there is no longer there. Does that sound correct to you, or you tell me?
Just because you don't see wildlife doesn't mean it's not out there.
Oh, true.
A lot of those areas that you would see wildlife, there's 100 cars going past there.
Right.
Deep into the Everglades, into like areas that aren't touched by man, there's healthy populations of a lot
Yeah.
of native species. With the pythons, there could be some there too.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure that there's some other animals taking them out as well.
Do you go? Is that something you're currently doing, going into the Everglades? Are you thinking about doing that, or what are your thoughts on that?
The Everglades is they call it the sea of grass, or the river of grass.
Okay.
It's a tough environment to be around and be in. There's just a lot of factors out there. There's bugs, there's this, there's that, there's alligators. To me personally, I've been out there and I've been through some sketchy stuff. And if you have you break down out there, or things happen out there,
It's dangerous. Yeah, it's dangerous. In a lot of those areas, you can't, like a lot of these
it's off grid.
That's what I'm saying. A lot of the hunters that go in there, they have to go off grid a little bit. You can't, there's not like just a road that takes you to those areas. Like you have to really be out in the mix, which I'm not somebody who would ever do something like that. So I think that's why I find all this very interesting, because.
But here's what: whenever you're in the Everglades, you're always gonna see wildlife,
Yeah.
no matter what.
Yep.
Like every time we go there, whether we find a python or not,
Yeah.
we're seeing 100 different other things. To be honest with you. And
What's the difference?
'cause we fish out there too. Like
Yeah.
we're doing a lot of stuff out there as well.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. what's the difference? You mentioned the iguanas can lay up to 60 eggs, right? You said.
Yeah.
What about some of these big pythons? Is it about the same? Are they laying more eggs than that? I mean, that seems like crazy.
Well, I'm pretty sure like maybe you've seen that video I posted, the little documentary, me going to an event, but it's on my channel, on the Iguana Man YouTube channel. Basically, it was just like a sneak peek into the life of a python hunters and stuff, just at a little event, just for education for the public. But in there was a female that was gravid. I mean, she had eggs,
Yeah.
and you know, we did see there were a lot of eggs in there. Can't tell you the exact amount, but you should check it out if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've seen most of your videos. I haven't didn't you just film something in Puerto Rico recently? I didn't get a chance to watch that one yet.
Yeah, you asked me about Puerto Rico. Dude, Puerto Rico, try not to think about it right now because I miss it, but I'm going to be back in October next month.
Okay.
But yeah, Puerto Rico is just an awesome time. We were there for a short amount of time. The guys that we went with, boy Wally at Swamp Fox Adventures YouTube channel, and he took us out here. We went to work with them at the jobs. It was amazing. We were with local trappers, and it was good seeing them work and seeing what they produced.
Yeah.
And out there is just a bliss to be out there, bro. To be honest with you.
Yeah. No. I want to go to Puerto Rico. I've never been. That's definitely in the plans at some point for me. I want to ask about.
If you go hit up Wally from Swamp Fox.
That's the guy. He's the connector. Okay.
Yeah, and he has a whole like.
He's got YouTube. He's a YouTube guy too.
Yeah, he has whole Airbnb. He has everything. He's awesome.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I want to shift my podcast a little bit to. Is there's a lot of people doing a lot of really cool stuff on YouTube, and a lot of it is like action stuff, like what you're doing. You're out there hunting these things. There's other people I follow that are doing pranks and different stuff that's kind of more in motion. And I think what I would be interested in doing is kind of just creating a niche where I can sit down with some of you YouTube guys and just kind of give your audience a little bit of behind the scenes and what's going on, that sort of thing. And on top of that, I just find it super interesting. So tell me on that note what it was like for Joe Rogan to watch one of your videos on one of his live podcasts, obviously the biggest podcast in the world. I mean, that must have been insane.
Yeah, Joe Rogan, although, he's obviously pretty cool. Yeah, he's seen the video. First, a buddy of mine showed it to me, and I thought it was cool. It was bittersweet because it was cool he got to see it, and he actually seen my content. But it was a little bittersweet because he said, when he's like, oh, it's Iguana Man. When he said Iguana Man, he laughed. So I don't think he took the name serious. So this is what I did. I changed my name to Raj the Iguana Man after that. Because at that moment, if it would have been that, he would have at least said my name.
Right.
And it wouldn't have been a big deal or nothing. But, who doesn't want Joe Rogan to say their name or call him or say what's up?
Of course. But it was still awesome. I mean, it was still awesome.
No. But other than that, Joe Rogan is awesome. I seen he just did an interview with the Python Cowboy, which
I was going to ask you about that.
I was super entertained about. Like, it was awesome. I digged it.
Yeah. First of all, I think the reason he laughed, I listen to a lot of Joe Rogan. I think the reason he laughs is because he laughs at Florida in general. He just thinks it's a funny. It is. It's a ridiculous. There's a lot of ridiculous wildlife and things that
Florida
go on.
man things, right?
Yeah, Florida stuff, which I find super entertaining. I think that's kind of probably.
So he's being sarcastic. He's just messing around.
That's kind of what I would think. But yeah, he did have that Python. What is his name? The Python Cowboy, right? Mm-hmm. He was on recently, and yeah, I mean. I feel like you could do, or maybe you already are doing it, pretty much what he's doing.
Who?
The Python Cowboy.
Trapper Mike? What do you mean? Me and him are best buds, man. Me and him are good buds.
Oh, really? You guys are boys? Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Have you ever done any footage together?
Well, Mike is just like me, dude. He's got 1,000,001 things that he should have done yesterday.
Yeah.
So he's always doing stuff. He's always busy. He's always in the field.
Yeah.
We are actually going to be doing something in the future, though.
Nice.
But right now, like, I'm pretty busy myself
too.
Because when I'm doing when I'm doing the trapping and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There's like a lot of stuff going on, so
yeah,
pretty busy,
It's a good problem to have.
But Mike's doing his thing. I'm doing his thing, and for sure in the future we're definitely gonna meet up. Also, I plan on meeting fishing YouTuber Zach Ketchum.
Okay.
Catch 'em all fishing. That's my boy too.
Oh yeah, I have seen some of his videos.
Zach is Zach's one of the goats, man.
So, the Joe Rogan thing is obviously awesome. You mentioned, I think earlier, I don't remember the number. What's the most viewed as of right now? The most viewed video that you've had. What's the number?
I have one video that's, I have 2 videos that are basically at 10 million views. Full length videos, not shorts.
Yeah.
They call them like, you know, long format videos,
Yeah.
you know, which are like, they're like over 10 minutes long.
It's crazy.
So I have 2 of those on YouTube. And the first one was the iguana egg. That's the iguana egg omelet.
Okay. I don't think I saw that one.
That's the first. That's my first viral video. First million view video.
An iguana egg omelet. That's so funny. All right, talk about it.
I'll tell you the story about it. Basically, I've done it before on the channel.
Yeah.
And it didn't do good, but you know, I mean, it was that season, so we decided to do the video.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, this one just went basically viral from the start, you know. And I think the first day got like 27,000 views on my channel. And I had I think 12,000 subscribers. So I already knew that.
That's crazy.
I did something to the algorithm there, and then from there it just kind of climbed up to 1 million.
Yeah, I think that's it. You did something to the algorithm, but you're also doing something that not a lot of people are doing. And like I said, if you're not from this area, or if you're not from a climate like this, you probably have no idea that this stuff is going on. And I mean, that was kind of what I was already following you when I was up north. But just being down here and seeing it, I mean, it's hard to.
It's a pleasure, man. It's a pleasure to meet you too.
Yeah,
because I never thought, this is a hobby of mine. I never thought that, it would grow to like such a community. You know.
I think too, and I appreciate you saying that. And I'm glad that I'm here, and I appreciate you having me here. I think part of what you're doing, and the reason you're having so much success doing it is because it comes off as organic, genuine passion that you have for what you're doing. And this whole new thing of having subscribers and followers and people that are interested in tuning in and watching it, that just, that's kind of icing on the cake.
Exactly.
So I think that's pretty cool. Let's talk about, you mentioned the iguana egg omelet. I saw that you did some sort of cookout recently. What does it taste like?
The egg omelet or the iguana meat? Or both?
Both.
Yeah. The egg omelet tastes like chicken egg, depending on how it's cooked and depending on how it's, like what time, I guess, or how, developed they are, I guess, or whatever.
Yeah.
You'll never have to worry about making an egg omelet and a baby iguana will come out, because it takes 9 months for them to, after they're laid.
That would be crazy.
I'm sorry, 3 months.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, 3 months after they're laid. So you never see that. A lot of people ask me that. And I was just like, bro, no,
that's not how it works.
It's not how it works. It's just eggs, and it takes a long time for it to develop.
Yo, could you imagine that?
Bro,
that'd be so crazy. Okay, and then what about the iguana meat itself? What is it chicken? I mean, everybody wants to say everything tastes like chicken. What do you think about that?
The egg tastes like egg. The egg tastes like chicken egg when it's cooked.
Right.
The meat tastes very similar to something you get at the grocery store.
Okay.
Whether it's a chicken, a fish, or a what's it called? It's very palatable,
And when you had your cookout here, what do you eat? Are you dipping it in something, or are you just eating it what? I'm just curious what kind of cuisine this iguana is like.
I'm from Trinidad and Tobago.
Right.
The main dish out there is curry. They curry everything.
Okay.
The Trini people do a different style of curry. It's more spicy, more dry.
Okay.
But in this case, what they do is they put coconut milk in the curry with the iguana, and they put a lid on it and they let it boil down for like an hour or two.
Interesting.
And then when you get it, it's like...
Yeah, because when I'm seeing people put it on the grill and stuff, I'm like, how would I eat? I haven't eaten it yet. I think I would try it, but I'm like, I would need some sort of sauce or something to put on it, season it or something like that.
A popular dish that we're going to be coming out with soon is we're going to be making a lot of empanadas.
Okay.
Iguanas and tacos.
Oh, nice.
And we're going to use we're only going to use the white meat of the iguana, which is the tail.
Okay, so I didn't know that. So that's the best meat to use if you're going to be having it, is the tail.
Right.
One thing I haven't seen you do, I'm sure you've done it, maybe I just haven't seen the videos of it, is are you measuring and weighing the size of some of these, or is that something you always do and I've just missed? Have I missed that, or do you do that or no?
Every once in a while, man, we're going to run into a giant iguana that we just have to try to weigh.
You have to.
Just to see, the statistics
of
the data. We want to know the weight, we want to know, on the giant ones.
Yeah.
Because, apparently there's been rumors out here that there could be some 16, 20-pound iguanas out here.
I think so, dude. Where I live, there's a couple that I see down the road that, why does it seem like the large ones are usually like the orangish? I think I've heard you say that's because they're they're old, or I don't know, they're the males. What is it about the orange ones? Why do they always seem bigger?
Yeah, so people think iguanas are usually green, and they are, but A lot of people don't realize that sometimes iguanas turn from green to orange.
Okay.
And they get bigger, and those are basically like an alpha.
Okay.
An alpha male iguana, you know. So he'll be, you know, all the other iguanas might be about, you know, 5 pounds. He'll be like 8, 10, you know, and above.
Yeah, I mean those are the ones that really gross me out. Also, what are those things on the neck? That little thing that looks like a little, like, what is that thing? That little ring?
They have that's probably his jaw muscle. He has like a jowl, like
Okay.
a shield right here to protect
Yeah.
his muscle.
Yeah.
But it's a big jaw muscle.
Okay.
And then you might see like a flap of skin under
I've
his
seen
thing.
those. Yep.
His chin, that's like a dewlap.
Okay.
And he'll use that to kind of like thermal regulate, like cool down,
Yeah.
or probably get more heat or whatever. And then also he'll kind of head bob with that and try to, you know, either attract iguanas or ward off rivals.
Interesting.
That's what from what I've read. And what I've seen.
How do you think we got here with this invasive iguana problem? Has it just always? I mean, it seems like I've read it's gotten worse and worse over the years. Any idea how we got to this point where they are just literally seemingly taking over the whole region of South Florida?
So a lot of people think that this thing is just happening, the iguana invasion.
Yeah.
The reality of it is they've always been here.
Right.
Been here since probably the 60s, 70s.
Okay.
But now, like, since a lot of breeding behind the scenes has been going on,
Yeah.
they're getting closer and closer to the cities.
And so is that something that happens? Do people have them as pets? Because I know there are people that have had pet iguanas. Are you saying that they're breeding them too? Or you just mean naturally in the environment?
Now there's no breeding allowed in Florida with iguanas.
Okay.
Iguanas are not allowed to be pets anymore.
I hope not, yeah, because we have enough of them.
But the reality of it is they can thrive pretty easily with the different habitats we have here, the forests, the oceans, the canals.
Yeah, it seems like they could live anywhere.
Yep.
As long as it's hot enough. Like I think if you go to North Florida, you don't really see them up there because it's not as humid and not as hot. Is that accurate, or did I just make that up?
There could be some there. You never know.
That's true.
And it's just small populations. But down here is like the perfect, like you said, temperature and environment that they can just thrive. So there's no really, I can't really, anything else I could say would just be like speculating.
Speculating, yeah. No, I like how you're doing that. You kind of opening my eyes to some of this. I think a lot of people do speculate on what's going on and why it's happening and all this other stuff. You're somebody who's on the scene doing this stuff every day. And so I think that holds value coming from you.
The reality of it, though, is with iguana removal, it is definitely effective. Like if there are iguanas that are just out of control in certain areas, there are methods that can be used to lessen their populations and stop some of the damage and impact.
It has to be managed. You can't have these things running around wild and digging holes in everybody's yards and messing up gardens. I mean, messing up crops, I'm sure. That type of thing is a definite problem. Why haven't I seen? I've been down here over a year now, and what I always heard was how big of a population for pythons there are down here. I know mostly in the Everglades, but I haven't seen one since I've been down here. And I've seen, I see iguanas every 2 seconds.
You want to know the truth about pythons, like my personal statistics catching pythons?
Yeah.
So, all right, basically the statistics are you're gonna find one snake or spot one snake for every 50 hours you spend looking for it. And I didn't really know that at first. When I went with a couple friends, they basically told me that, we're going python hunting. I'm thinking we're gonna see like 2 or 3 of them or one or at least one. They don't stop until they find one. It turns out it was like that like the first 5 times. The thing with pythons, man, is a snake in general is just extremely elusive, dude. And then to encounter like a python or a big python just in the wild in general is a pretty rare phenomenon. You have to be out there a lot, or you have to kind of have some more insight. My friends, they're just amateurs. Like, no offense to them, they're not amateurs, but they're novice. They're novices.
Yeah.
That's what I meant to say. But they go out there for fun. They're not with the python program, whatever they got going on.
Right.
But in my career finding pythons, I think we found like 3 or 4 of them. We did find a big 13-footer.
I was going to say, how big? 13? That's big. That's big. I mean, I know they've found some of them are up to 18, 19 feet and sometimes larger. I mean, honestly,
you got to remember, a python is really like, how like there's like mythological beasts that people talk about, Sasquatch, Bigfoot, this big crocodile. it's just one of those. But this one just actually does exist, you know.
Isn't that crazy?
But it's very rare, like a myth. You have to be out there a lot, and then when you finally see it,
yeah,
it's like you come to the conclusion of like all your hunts, and it's like finally it's there. And to be honest with you, like after I found it, it was definitely worth it. To be honest with you.
I think that's
Like,
probably why when you watch people on YouTube that are hunting those things, they get so excited, and it's like,
yeah,
it must be such a rush because you're out there in the heat for days sometimes before you're able to see
getting
one.
chewed up and stuff.
By bugs and everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, all this stuff
But look, while they're not finding the pythons though, they're finding a lot of other snakes, dude. They're like observing a lot of other wildlife.
What are the other snakes down here? Because all you ever hear about is the Burmese python, right? That's what you normally hear about.
There's.
But I don't know shit, so you tell me.
Yeah, I mean, they just, you know, they just see a lot of them. We observe a lot of them, a lot of different stuff.
Yeah.
And, you know, like, you know, to me, that's pretty cool seeing that stuff. If I'm out there looking for a python, we see like one time we found like, but, you know, we didn't find no python, but we found a snake like every 20 minutes, like on the road, you know?
Oh,
like,
wow.
So it was action-packed. We probably saw like 30, 40 snakes.
Yeah.
It was crazy. And we saw a rattlesnake that night, a pigmy rattlesnake.
You can hear those, though, because when you get close to, is that what happens? They start rattling when you come close to them?
Yeah. But this guy was like that. It was a little rattlesnake. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. You know, I'm grossed out by reptiles in general,
but
I
don't really mess with snakes too much.
But I'm so interested in it, and I would definitely want to be on some of these trips as long as I can be at a distance and watch people do what they're doing. I find it fascinating. I would love to watch somebody do some of the stuff that we're speaking about, going out and hunting.
Yeah, I got some buddies I can get you in contact with. Yeah, you could probably tag along with them, you know.
For sure. I also want to see you do the iguana stuff too, a little bit up close and personal. So, yeah, man.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm doing that all the time. Right now I'm resting these last couple of days, you know.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Well, you deserve it. You need some rest.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, from like I said, the last couple of months of me have been like, I'm not gonna say hell, but it's been crazy, you know. Like, it's just one thing after another, after another, after another. Like, eventually you need, like, you know.
And is there a busy season with that stuff? Is it busy?
The busy season's over right now.
So summer was the busy season. Yeah,
okay. Summer was the busy season.
Okay.
But here's the beauty of it. Fall is going to be the breeding season, so it's another busy season. But it's going to be a lot cooler.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a big benefit for two reasons. One, it's going to be better for me and better for people out there like us doing it. Two, we can predict better when iguanas are going to be out. There's only going to be a smaller window of when to go hunt instead of in the summer you can be out all day, you know.
Right. So when you're not on the job, right? When you're not working as you know, a removal guy, if you just see, like, I'm picturing you as like Tarzan in the wild. Like, if you're just out and about and you see iguanas, like, are you tempted to just go catch them, or do you just kind of let it fly? You're off the clock. You don't care about it.
It all depends on the situation, and what's going on, and how big the iguana is.
I'm picturing you like running and jumping on them, like, just because you can't help yourself. I think that is hilarious to picture, but
that would be funny for a cartoon. But no, I would. It all depends on the situation, and how big the iguana was, and how, you know, if I had time to spare, you know.
Love it.
But some iguanas get lucky, some of them get caught. Some of them, I try to catch them and they get away, dude. It happens, bro. We got time, dude.
Yeah,
chill.
we
I'm
got
chilling.
time,
No,
yeah.
I'm chilling, bro.
Cool. Appreciate it.
Getting some stuff off my chest, and, you know.
No, I love it. I love
pretty
it.
Pretty good, you know.
So say when you're hunting with the airsoft, and say they're in a tree, and they fall down from the tree, but then some of the large ones, they can get hit, and then they'll keep scurrying away, and they'll get away from you. Is that normally how? Because I can't imagine them getting away, or do they get away more when you do it on the fishing line more? I've seen you do that too.
They don't. To be honest with you, dude, not that much get away. It depends on how you execute the catch, bro.
Right.
I got it down to a T, obviously.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I don't miss a lot. Like, I'm not even trying to like be like boasty or anything, but like I try. Like I've already done these scenarios so many times that to me it's already I already understand how to approach the animal.
Yeah.
And do what I got to do. So.
No, I certainly haven't seen you miss much at all.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna miss some, but for the most part, you know, 'cause sometimes it depends on when you go for the iguana. If the iguana's relaxed or you know or territorial, I have a better shot maybe. But if he's skittish or he's like, you know, he's starting to move his head and he's starting to think, I don't want him to think about what I'm doing. I just want him to know that I'm there and let him try to stand his ground, you know?
Yeah.
And keep getting a little closer to him.
Has anybody ever hired you to come do your job and you get there and you're like, I don't see any iguanas? Like, has that ever?
Oh, it happens all the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. I wouldn't.
So on those type of jobs or trips, sometimes you know, it's not. I'm not gonna say it's profitable or not profitable, but it's part of the game, dude. I got to go out there. It's my responsibility.
Yeah.
But you know, it's just one of those things.
They're probably like, no, I promise they're here. We see them all the time.
The thing with iguanas too is they can be in your yard or be in your area
Yeah.
one day and then be gone the next day.
Yep.
Depends on what's going on. Because
Gotcha.
they're just always moving. So he might be in your tree today and he might have pooped there,
Yeah.
but then he might have just, you know, he's gone.
What about pets with these things? Like dogs obviously are seeing them if they're out and about. I don't know, cats.
Bruh,
Like
yeah.
what do you hear? What do you see when it comes to like pets that people have domestically, and then they have this iguana problem? Do they ever go get them? Like, are they fighting them or no?
Well, some people got pets that definitely eat iguanas for sure. I've seen it a lot, and
That's what
I'm
I
seeing
was
it more
wondering.
and more. Yeah, and more animals are eating iguanas as well. Fish are eating them. You know, dogs, cats are eating them. We're seeing that a lot. There's a lot of things that are eating them. Turtles eat them.
Gators.
Gators eat them.
Gators are definitely eating them.
Birds, you know, birds can eat them, but you know the iguanas have good camouflage. But sometimes, you know, they get into incidents. Even the trash pandas are starting to take a liking to iguanas as well. The raccoons.
Oh, that's what you call them, trash pandas?
That's what.
That's
yeah.
hilarious. I'm like, what the hell is a trash panda? That's fantastic. I love that.
So I've seen some clips on that about them like having scuffles with iguanas and
Yeah.
taking them out. So
Oh, I believe it. I believe it. I've also heard that, well, I've seen on video that these pythons are now eating the alligators.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
crazy.
They're that high up in the food chain, my friend.
That's crazy. So there's really nothing, there's nothing higher up on the food, in their environment, there's nothing higher up than like a big Burmese python. They can, because if they can go get an alligator.
The python, I don't know what to say about that because it's a very sensitive, it's like a delicate subject,
Right.
a delicate thing what's going on out there.
Yeah.
But I believe that there's still very healthy populations of alligators, and I
Yeah.
feel like there's very healthy populations of other natives.
Yeah.
And I feel like over time they're just going to coexist, bro. Like there are some that are going to get eaten, there
Yeah.
are some things, but eventually like evolution's going to happen. Things are going to start eating them as well, bro, because they're not.
Yeah, no, I think overall you have a positive spin on this stuff, a positive outlook. I think some people think it's like, you know, the end of the, it's the end of, you know, mammal species in this area, this, that, and the other thing. What I'm hearing from you is that you think eventually nature takes its course and it'll kind of even out.
Right. I think eventually they're just going to coexist because the reality of it, dude, is our animals have always been, you know what I'm saying? Like like ecosystems have always been changing.
Right.
Things are always going to be changing.
Right.
Even here in Florida with these iguanas, eventually some of these animals are
Yeah.
going to, you know, iguanas are not going to be here like
Right.
that no more.
Right.
Dude. Things are going to be hunting them, bro.
Yeah, it's
Like if I guarantee if we had a gang of raccoons out here that had a taste for iguana meat, these iguanas would think twice about chilling out here, dude.
How often do you see them back here?
Iguanas?
Yeah, all the time.
Not really.
Not really?
There are some out here. You know, but there's a canal, so that, you know, they'll be here one day. They might be there.
Gotcha.
But
I would have thought they'd be back here all the time. I thought you would see them out there.
No, there were some here when the mangoes were here.
Yep.
But they all, you know what I'm saying, we
Yeah.
euthanized, killed a lot, and
Yep.
we, you know, did our thing.
Yeah, I gotta imagine you've taken care of your own area here.
Yeah, the iguanas know better not to hang out here, dude. And
So funny, dude.
and not only that, but you know, like thankfully our area right here is not anything that the iguanas would really want.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And if we did see anything, obviously we'd take, you know, action immediately. And that's the thing with some people too. A lot of people aren't aware of their own property or what is really going on, and they wait a very long time.
Yeah, and then it's a problem.
Yeah, then you know, the problem gets worse, bro.
Do you fish a lot?
I have, but
Yeah.
not lately. But you know, I'm gonna be in the future with mullet
Yeah.
season coming up.
Yeah.
In the
I'm just
fall.
curious. I don't fish at all, but
I'm gonna be at the pier sometimes. So
Yeah?
if you want, you can catch me out there.
Yeah, for sure. Well, let me know when you're going. I would love to join you out
we're gonna invite some subscribers out there too. Like it's gonna be like just chilling and.
Keep me posted on that. I would love to go hang out with you guys there. I know nothing about fishing, but being down here, I'm something I'm interested in. I would love to get into it, learn more about it.
Yeah, dude. It's you know, it's just how everything that with nature is just like, you know, when you're out there, it's just like you're gonna be out there for some time. You're gonna learn some stuff, and it's just about experience and you having a goal and having an objective, and then trying to meet it, bro. Like with whatever you're trying to do out there.
What do you think about grouper? Do you like eating the grouper? There's so much grouper down here, and I love eating it. What are your thoughts on grouper?
Grouper is good to eat. Obviously, I think it could be getting fished a lot.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of the grouper, and this is just the urban myth out here, but a lot of grouper is snakehead, which are like caught in the canals. They call them freshwater groupers. I have an unknown source or a couple of sources that told me that.
Really?
And it passes for it, like, but that doesn't. I can't really. I don't know if he was being a joke or being literal, but I would imagine that most seafood places have a lot. Wouldn't do something like that. It's stupid,
Yeah, they know
more integrity and more, of their business.
That's interesting theory, though. Yeah. Now I'm wondering what kind of conspiracy theories exist.
You want to hear a funny story with that? Look.
Yeah.
I went to a Spanish restaurant.
Yep.
Ordered ceviche there.
Okay. Which I've just tried recently for the first time a couple months ago. Ecuadorian girl made a fantastic ceviche. Go ahead.
And ceviche is great, but here's the kicker. So I ordered it. It was like $22 or $20 or something like that. And I was eating it, and I don't know what, something kind of just like, I just asked him what kind of fish it was, and he told me tilapia. And I was like, what the hell? I was like, tilapia. And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, bro, you had me eating raw farm-raised tilapia for $20, like at a snapper price.
He should have just lied to you and said it was something else.
Yeah, but no, it's not even that, dude. I knew it was. I kind of had a feeling it was tilapia.
That's
bro.
why you asked.
Yeah, bro, because like the freshness of the fish wasn't. You know what I'm saying, bro? It tasted like it was frozen and thawed out, and then did like that. Ceviche, you need fresh fish, dude.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
it makes all the difference
I basically just asked him, like, bro, how are you gonna have me eat frozen? I didn't make a big deal of it, but I was just like, here, I'm gonna pay for it, bud. But shit.
That was messed up.
Yeah.
That was messed up, bro. What are you trying to do to me? Yeah, I had never had ceviche, and a friend of mine had made some a couple months back, and it was my first time trying it, and it was excellent. Excellent. And there was something else, too. It was some sort of Ecuadorian food, pork belly and something, and it was in a ball. I forget what they called it, but I've been eating all sorts of different cuisine that I'm used to down here, and I've been really enjoying it, so.
Yeah, the food out here, man, is amazing, especially the Latin food. It's like, that's why I like Puerto Rico too, bro. Their food is, it just has like it's like American food, but it's like a more healthier, more like earthy style of it.
Yeah.
But it's still like, for example, their beef out there, bro, their hamburgers and their steaks out there, dude, is like, to them it's just like, oh, it's at the supermarket and stuff like that. But if you go to some of the good supermarkets, bro, like they have some very high quality, like, food out there, bro. So that type of stuff, and you eat that type of stuff and you're out there, bro, it's like, you're eating grass-fed Puerto Rican beef, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
you can't wait to go back, I can tell.
Yeah, I mean, like...
I can tell.
And here's the thing. Over here has it too, but the difference is over there I could afford it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, I know.
I'm just chilling. We're grilling, and we're eating with tortillas.
So when are you going back? You're going back soon, it sounds like.
Yeah, probably in late October, early November for like a week or two or something.
Nice.
Like that. But anyway, the Latin food is good, man. And Florida, like, the good thing about Florida, it's a melting pot, bro. There's a little bit of everything, and to be honest with you, there's a lot of good food out here, bro. As you can tell, like, like,
well, the Cuban food is good. I mean, there's everything I've pretty much. I don't have many bad meals down here, that's for sure. Not that I did up in New York. There's certainly a lot, especially where I'm from. There's a lot of good restaurants where I'm from up there, but I guess just different type of cuisine down here. I've really enjoyed it. But yeah, man, I really appreciate you having me back here. Definitely keep me posted on going to the pier. I would love to join you doing that. I think that'd be fun. And we'll be in touch, hopefully, in the future, maybe some more projects. But, I mean, this was awesome. I'm glad you certainly didn't have to do this. I'm glad you were gracious with your time, and I appreciate it. And thanks for having me, man.
All right, man.
You the man.
Sounds
appreciate
good,
it.
Man. You're welcome.